All right, let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and welcome our symphonic band to the gym floor. Here we go. All right, I'm going to hand the mic over for something impromptu. And you can ask my wife, I hate surprises.
It's not a surprise, I'm just temporarily hijacking his program, is all. My name is Rochelle Bailey, and I'm one of the quasi-board members of this year's band, selected by Mr. Williams because we were parents on the music circuit who had had children either in high school or around the place. Anyway, we just wanted to give him a little token of appreciation from the board and the students. And on behalf of the parents, we have the Buckhorn Middle School Concert Band and Buckhorn Middle School Symphonic Band. This is from their MPA performance. Just a way to say thank you. If you know Mr. Williams, he doesn't ask for help, and when he says, hey, help me, he really, really needs it. But we have had a problem with support, and we look forward to working with you in the future. And if he ever says, I need help, I'm more than happy always, and very many band parents are always happy to step up and help him. So thank you, Mr. Williams. We appreciate you and all that you do.
All right, thank you, Ms. Bailey. So this is our symphonic band. This advanced group of students are all 8th graders and have been playing in band for at least 3 years. In March, this group traveled to music performance assessment for contest and received an overall superior rating. With a superior rating in sight reading, many of them are wearing the medal they received from MPA, and we have a plaque that most of you don't know this, arrived today, that will be hanging in our band room forever. Let's give them a round of applause. Their first piece tonight is one they performed at Music Performance Assessment. I had them vote on which one they wanted to perform, and we were very surprisingly split almost down the middle. We ended up choosing their March, which nearly won by just a few votes. Darklands March is a somewhat dark, edgy piece written in a minor mode, with the first half of the march a stark contrast to the lyrical trio section. Here is Darklands March, written by Randall Standridge. Before we begin our next piece, I wanted to take the time to thank and recognize a few people that helped make all of this possible. Part of what makes our band program so successful is having a positive support system in our Buckhorn cluster. Being with this cluster now for 9 years, I know that we are blessed with a wonderful support system of administrators, faculty, and staff. I just want to say thank you to all of the BMS administrators, faculty, and staff for your support of our band program. Many of you may already be aware that we are losing Ms. McCutcheon, our principal, to Riverton Intermediate School next year. Ms. McCutcheon, if you would walk a little bit up here. Yeah, I know. All right. While I'm not thrilled to see her go, I know that she's going to do amazing things at Riverton that ultimately will help our students transition into middle school. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So we are excited that she's going to stay in our cluster and go to Riverton. I have been blessed in my career with great administrators, but none of them hold a candle. I've got to read this or like I'm just going to forget what I'm going to say. Yeah, I know, yeah. But none of them hold a candle to Ms. McCutcheon. Not only is she a strong leader with the ability to bring a group of people to work together towards a common goal, but she also goes above and beyond to make a positive impact on the lives of the people she interacts with. For all the things she has done for me personally and for our band program, in front of and behind the scenes, we wanted to present you with a small token of our appreciation. I am also blessed to work with the most outstanding music educators that I have ever met, and we are lucky to have those music educators in our Buckhorn cluster. Miss Mary Ellen Hovick at Riverton and Newmarket and Mr. Jacob Souter at Buckhorn High School are two that are committed to music education in our schools and our community. They work hard, and their commitment to our students to continue, I read that so wrong, their hard work and commitment to our students continue to push our band program to new heights. So thank you. Here's Mr. Souter. And if you did not get a chance to go to Riverton and Newmarket's concert last Thursday night, those sixth graders, number one, there is a ton of them. And they had an awesome performance. And then Mr. Souter, the high school band concert, all of you are invited, is tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at the Rock Auditorium, which that's the old Butler High School, if you're not familiar where that is. So 7 o'clock tomorrow night should be an awesome, I've seen the program, it looks incredible. And you're starting with your jazz band, I think, correct? Awesome. So if you get a chance to go out there, please do. Thank you to all of those band parents that volunteer their time to assist in chaperoning, concession stands, organizing, uniform sorting, planning, and so much more. As you saw earlier, this year's Band Booster Parent Board consisted of Rochelle Bailey, Sherry Raines, Amanda Gaston, Elizabeth Young, Melissa Davis, and Stacy Riggins. These band parents met with me at the beginning of the year to make plans for the entire school year, and then we adjusted like everything because plans constantly changed. They each took on individual responsibilities and then some. Thank you to those parents as well as all of the parents that volunteered to help throughout the year. And finally, the most important factor in a student's success is support from parents and families like you. Investing in their instrument, private lessons, making time at home for them to practice, picking them up from an after-school rehearsal that they forgot to tell you about until the last minute, signing a practice chart while you're in the car to drop off line on a Friday morning because I forgot to tell you that before. These are hitting close to home, I can tell. All of that plus more. These are just a few ways that you support your children. They may not always tell you this, but on behalf of our students, thank you for the investment and commitment that you have made in your students' music education. And students, let's give your parents and families a massive round of applause. And parents, I cannot tell you how important your role in music education is. If you want to continue to see our band programs grow in this cluster, please be a vocal advocate for music education in our school system. Contact the school board, post pictures and videos to your social media accounts, and tag the school system so everyone in our community can see the things that we're doing here. We want to let people know all the positive things that are happening in our community. Our next piece depicts a traditional dance from Spain with varied articulations in traditional Spanish instruments like maracas and castanets, played by Zach Revis and Lily Franco. Here is Danza de España, written by Carol Britton Chang. Next, I would like to present a few more awards. This is the Leadership and Service Award, and I'm going to present that to one student from each class that consistently goes above and beyond the expectations of our band program. At the beginning of the school year, I told our students that I want them to be how can I help you students, meaning don't sit there and wait for something to be done, but instead look for a way to be helpful. We have lots of students that are this type of student, and it was really hard to pick just one. I'm just going to let you know, okay? These students, the students that I picked were consistent doing this almost every single day. These students went out of their way to make sure things were in order in our band room or looked for ways that they could be helpful to make an impact. Essentially, these students were consistently dependable. The Leadership and Service Award for our first period beginning band class goes to Junior G. Cruz. Let's go, Junior. While he's making his way on down, our second period, some of these are over here, obviously. Our second period concert band brass, thanks guys, goes to Maggie Jones. The Leadership and Service Award for our third period symphonic band, that's the students right here, goes to Hattie Davis. For our fourth period percussion class, that would be Mr. Noah Hall. And then finally, our sixth period woodwind concert band class, that goes to Melanie Jones. Y'all can keep on clapping, she's gonna walk a long time. All right, so you probably know what's next if you've seen our program, so let me explain. The next performance is one of the reasons why I love teaching middle schoolers. A few of our students were talking about jazz music, asking me questions, which led to a conversation about the jazz style and how you have to play differently, which led to the jazz pieces we have in our music library, which ultimately led to me mentioning that we have Sesame Street as a joke. It wasn't a joke for them. They begged to play it, and it's been a whole bunch of fun. Many of you are going to recognize this delightful theme from one of TV's best-loved children's programs. These students had to learn about the jazz style, which includes swinging notes and rhythms. Not super easy when you're going from song to song that doesn't include jazz, and then it does. This song holds special meaning to me, as it is my one-year-old daughter's favorite show at the moment. She was unable to attend our winter concert, which would have been her very first concert she would have seen Dad conduct in, because she had an ear infection, so I thought it would be fitting to perform it tonight for her. Unfortunately, she has another ear infection and she's not here. I know, kids. So hopefully one of you will post a video to our Facebook page and we can play it for her. So this is Sesame Street. You would think a whole bunch of percussionists in band would have rhythm. Wonderful dance moves. Oh, fantastic. All right, so to finish up our student awards and accomplishments this year, we had 30 of our band students selected for Madison County Honor Band. These students joined other top middle school band students from Madison County schools in February to rehearse and perform 8 pieces of music after just 2 days of rehearsal. Would all 30 of those students please stand? And we have some concert band students as well. We had 52, I'm going to say that again, 52 students participate in our district's solo and ensemble event back in April. We are still waiting on their medals to arrive, but we hope they're here before the last day of school. Once they do, I'll pass them out. Students, if you received an excellent or a superior rating at solo and ensemble, please stand. We have some percussionists too, but they're of course already standing, so maybe I could do a little wave or something. 2 of our students auditioned in District 1 Honor Band, where they rehearsed at Grissom High School with other top area students. On clarinet, although she's also playing oboe right now, we have Charlie Burnett. And on tenor sax, although he's also playing bari sax, we have Landon Morgan. Please stand. And then Landon, start making your way up here. I've got something for you. One of our students, Landon, auditioned and made Alabama All-State Festival, which is made up of the top band students in the state of Alabama. He got to spend 3 days in Mobile rehearsing with the best young musicians in the state of Alabama. He's already received his All-State medal, but I wanted to present him with something a little bit more substantial, and of course that was Landon Morgan. And to continue the most outstanding awards selected by the students, with the quality and caliber of students that we have in our symphonic band, I had to divide this award by instrument family as well. Apparently that was not enough, as each resulted in a tie. It was insane. So, rather than breaking that tie, I decided that each of these students accurately represents the qualifications and meaning of this award. So, the award for Most Outstanding Symphonic Band Woodwind Student goes to Charlie Burnett and Landon Morgan. The award for Most Outstanding Symphonic Band Brass Student goes to Emily Hamilton and Patrick Allen. And finally, the award for Most Outstanding Symphonic Band Percussion Student goes to Will Livermore and Joshua Gaston. And before we play our last piece this evening, I'd like to welcome Mr. Matt Clark from the Optimist Club of Huntsville. The Optimist Club of Huntsville supports band and the arts in our community. Each year, I'm asked to select one student from our band that best represents the qualities that the Optimist Club values in a band student. The criteria I have to choose from includes band spirit, leadership, teamwork, good character, and optimism. With 122 students in our band, this is not an easy task. I can think of at least half of our students that are deserving of this award, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Clark so he can announce our winner.
The Optimist Club of Huntsville has been serving youth in the Madison County area for 75 years. We're originally known for our sports program, but the city has taken that over. Now we spend about $50,000 a year helping students with other programs. Essay contest, speech contest, grants. But our biggest program is the band instrument program, which we loan out about 250 instruments. But tonight I'm here to announce the winner of the Optimist Band Award for Buckhorn Middle School, and the winner is Sarah Raines. There's one other thing. We have a picture of Ulysses Grant. You know who that is? It's a president, that's right. But if you don't like Ulysses Grant, you can trade him in for something else. There's also a plaque that hangs in the band room that has the name of all the winners throughout the years, and Sarah's name will be on that plaque. Finally, I have a check for $100 for the Buckhorn band, and you can use that how you see fit.
Just to add something else about Sarah, I don't think I've ever met a kid that is more polite than Sarah is. She says good morning and have a good day like it is going out of style. And there's sometimes I try to beat her to it, and she always beats me. And so I've known Sarah since 4th grade when I was at Riverton, and then there was a couple years where I was up here and she was still there. But Sarah is the most genuinely nice student I think I've ever had in our band program. Yeah. I'm going to go a little off script, and I don't know if he knows this is happening, so I'm just going to venture over here. Mr. Matt Clark, of course, is from the Optimist Club, but also with him is his father, Mr. Bill Clark. And okay, all right. Mr. Bill Clark has been at the Optimist Club for a little while, would you say? Okay. And he has been really influential in getting this program started, keeping it running. He would probably tell me that it's not just him, but of course, it takes a lot to do what they do. I always send him thank you emails. I always tell him thank you in person. But Mr. Clark literally goes above and beyond every single year to make sure that our students in our community, and it's honestly not just the Buckhorn community, it's all over Madison County, have instruments. If there's a student that wants to be in band in our school system, or Huntsville City, or Madison City, and I'm sure anywhere else, they're gonna provide an instrument free of charge. Any maintenance required, they're going to take care of. I was talking to some of my director friends, and we think it's been over in the thousands of kids that are in band in our school system and in our community because of the Optimist Club. And so I cannot thank you enough. To me, an email just isn't going to do it, so I have this plaque for you. And it's also the Optimist Club, not just you, because I know you don't want it to be just on you. And it says, thank you for your years of service and dedication to the music programs and students in Madison County. Thank you.
This means a lot to me. It's very important. And I'm grateful for having this plaque. And I'd like to tell you a little story, if I might. And it happened right here in this gymnasium several years ago. My mother came up to me and said, your instrument that you lent my son has changed his life. She said, it has given him a goal and a purpose that he never had before. And it wasn't the instrument, of course. It was music, and it was the opportunity to play in the band. And so I've never forgotten that. And I know all you parents and students as well have found something in music and the camaraderie of being in the band that is more than just learning how to play an instrument. So thank you again. And
we were talking, and we know of band kids that are playing in college marching bands that started with an instrument from the Optimist Club program, and had it not been for them, they would have never had that journey. So it is absolutely an incredible thing they do for us. One more thing, and then let's do our last song. Our last award, and the students all know about this, we've been talking about this, it is presented each year in loving memory of Darby Jones, a member of the Buckhorn Middle School Band program who sadly passed away in 2013. This award is presented to an 8th grade band student who demonstrates generosity, hard work, kindness, helpfulness, encouragement, and a positive attitude. All gifts that Darby shared with us. In addition to the plaque this student receives, his or her name will go on a plaque that hangs in our band room for all to see for years to come. The most interesting thing about this award is that the students have to be nominated, and the student nominating has to write reasons for their nomination. It leads to absolutely just the nicest things you will ever read that one student would write about the other. And I honestly have just loved reading them. Many of this year's nominees could have been selected from the nominations forms that I received. I'm going to read an excerpt from what was written about this year's winner. If you asked me to describe this student with as little words possible, I would say he or she, I'm going to not let you know who this is admirable. I admire how positive he or she is. I admire how smart and hardworking he or she is. I admire how he or she is helpful and kind to everyone. That's why I think he or she is deserving of this award. She's what every band kid should aspire to be. The person that wrote that knows who I'm talking about. This year's Darby Jones Memorial Award goes to Miss Charlie Burnett. And lastly, when we finish, all students need to report to the band room to return their bow ties, cummerbunds, and vests. Parents, please allow them to do so quickly before leaving. Also, we need all band students to help move equipment back into the band room. If everybody pitches in, this will take no time at all. Percussion's in charge of percussion. Curtain stands, middle of the room, unless you want to set them up. Students, you will need to bring your instruments. No, this is so wrong. You will not need to bring your instruments tomorrow. We've got other stuff we're going to do. We do need instruments on Wednesday and Thursday and probably even Friday, but we'll figure that one out. So no instruments tomorrow. Bring them back on Wednesday. And please, if you take a great picture or video of tonight's performance, please post them to our Facebook page or email them to me. For our last piece, we have had a blast rehearsing. When I first passed it out to the students, they learned a valuable lesson in reading comprehension, as many of them thought this was a song about the Marvel superhero team that comes together to save the world time and time again. After that initial disappointment subsided, it quickly became one of their favorites. Avenger creates a feeling of drama and excitement from the start, exploring contemporary harmonies and vigorous rhythms. This piece drives to the last note. Once again, thank you for giving your children the opportunity to create music. Please continue to support the music education programs in our cluster. We know what we have here is special, so please post on your social media and let our community know. I hope you all have a wonderful summer. I'm going to throw in a real quick plug. Take your instruments in for maintenance and cleaning during the summer so that they're ready to go next fall. Our final piece this evening is Avenger, written by Rob Grice. right, thank you for sharing your evening with us. Thank you for sharing your students with us. Students, you have a very important job to do, and that's getting everything back. Remember, bow ties, cummerbunds, vest, and a thank you back to the parents in the band room. Everything moves back. Have a great night.